my gosh, we're going to have so much fun today. We are doing another Christmas set. This one is Santa and Rudolph. And of course, we're doing it on Ellie's nails again. And we're going to use some Young Nails products, some Beetles products. This is the Young Nails glitter, which is perfect for Christmas nails. And then these are Model 1 gel art liners. We're going to use a couple of other products too, but those are the base products that we're going to use for this set. And of course, we're going to start out with the pinky, and this pinky nail is just one coat of the Beetles red. And so I did the one coat, and then without curing it, I went in with this nail art glitter, which is made by Young Nails. It's specifically made for nail art. And so I just kind of haphazardly dump it onto this nail. And I mean, I am not shy about the glitter. Can you tell? I just dump it on, and then I use an old gel brush that I don't use for gels anymore, and I just pat in the glitter onto the wet polish. And once I've got it all patted in, I'm going to cure it for 2 minutes. And yeah, it ends up being super duper sparkly, which I love so much. So we just pat it in a little at a time. If I notice anything that might be loose, I just pat it again and until I'm satisfied, and then I cure it. Once it's cured, I just take a little brush and kind of brush off any extras. And then I'm going to go in. This is the most simple nail of the set. I'm just going to go in with a shiny top coat. And this Beetles top coat is pretty amazing. When you put it on, it kind of goes on thick, but it ends up thinner because then you go over it one more time with the brush before you cure it, and you kind of take off any extras, and it just settles so perfectly. But with this glitter and any glitters that you're playing with, sometimes you'll end up getting a couple of little bumplies after you've cured your top coat. So what I'm going to do is usually a no-no, but I'm going to very lightly kind of file down, I want to say like varnish down those little teeny bumps, but ever so lightly. Like I am barely touching this nail because I know that if I file it too hard and it actually ends up touching the glitter, it will turn that glitter silver, and you don't want to do that. You want to keep it nice and red, glossy, rosy red, right? So then once I've done those touch-ups on this nail, I just go in with the top coat again. And that's one thing that I love about this Beetles gel top coat is that you can layer it without it chipping. So just a plus for sure. And so I just go in with another pretty thin layer, and I just cure it again for 2 more minutes, and it turns out looking like Dorothy's ruby slipper. It is so sparkly and beautiful, super Christmassy. Okay, so now we're moving on to the next nail, and this one is going to be Rudolph. And so I'm starting with the single coat of the One Step gel polish by Young Nails, and I love this. This is definitely my go-to for white, and I just use one coat. You can do more than one coat, but it's one step because it's your base, your color, and your top coat all in one. So you don't have to top coat this. It ends with a non-tacky residue, and it's super shiny. Just one coat will do. Sometimes I use 2 coats if I feel like it's streaky. But then I cure it for 2 minutes with just one coat and it turns out perfect. So I go in, I actually left this in. I wanted you to see that I don't always do everything perfect the first shot. And so what we're doing is we're putting on the Rudolph's scarf. And I'm working on that shiny top coat that the one step, ends up with. And then I realize about, halfway through, I'm like, I'm not liking the way this nail art gel is. It's kind of streaky and inconsistent. And I realize, oh, I didn't put a matte coat underneath. I'm sitting there thinking, why is it so streaky? And then I realize, you have so much more uh, control of your nail art liner if you are working on matte top coats. So I take the matte top coat from Beetles and I put a very thin layer and then I cure it for 2 minutes. And while it was curing, I was thinking, okay, so Rudolph is going to need rhinestones and some antlers in brown. So I pulled out those and then I went back in with the red gel polish. And this time, instead of using just my nail art brush, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to have to work with the glitter on this anyway. So I'm just going to really quickly just go in, slap some on, and then I will define it once I get the glitter on. So I'm going to keep this wet. And I'm going to dump some glitter on top of it. There's the glitter again. And I'm also putting down a piece of paper in case I spill some of the glitter. I forgot to tell you about that the first nail that we did. But yeah, so I always put down like a sheet of paper. I'll show that to you later. But and then, of course, once I've dumped the glitter on, then I use that same old gel brush and I pat it in. And this is where it doesn't even look like a scarf right now. I knew it wouldn't because I knew that, the glitter kind of gets everywhere when you're not doing the whole nail. And you end up having to use like a definer brush with rubbing alcohol and just kind of push the glitter out of the way that you didn't want on. And so I knew I was going to have to define it. So you can be messy. If you know that you're going to have to define it afterwards anyway, why not just, make it messy and then clean it up? So you're going to end up doing the work anyway, right? So I take my time and just take off all of the glitter that, in the places that I didn't want. And I really am. I'm like watching TV while I'm doing this. So I am just, my creativity is flowing. My head is, wrapped around Christmas and, what is Rudolph gonna look like? And I mean, I have fun with it in my head while I'm watching TV, So I'm like, what am I going to do with this next? And so I end up going, okay, I don't want Rudolph to look bulky at all. So I'm going to thin out this, this scarf for him. So I'm actually thinning it out a little bit and, having fun. When you're doing art, do you do that? Do you like watch TV while you're playing with nails, or if you're doing them in the salon, let me know. Do you have like a TV behind you? Are you listening to music? Do you have your AirPods on? Or are you engaging with your client, or do you just do this for fun? Tell me what you do while you're doing your little arts and crafts, or if you're just doing nails when you're doing nails. Let me know what you do. What's going on in the background? I want to know. Okay, so we've just about got this one perfect, and so we're going to cure it for 2 minutes. And I'm totally happy with the way this looks at this point, and it matches the pinky nail too. So Yeah, Rudolph is going to be so cute. First, we're going to go in with some Rhinestone Gel. Once again, a Beetles product, and I use a lot of these Beetles products. It's because I get 35% off, and I'm going to share that code with you right here. If you go to BeetlesGel.com and you use the code Lora 35, then you can get 35% off all of your purchases too. It's just such a good company, very consistent, great pigment in their gels, and just really affordable. So I use almost everything Beetles at this point. So they have a little bit of everything. So go and check them out, see if there's anything that you need to pick up. And yeah, tell them Laura sent you by using that code, and you too will get 35% off. Okay, so we're putting Rudolph's nose on. His red nose is a big red rhinestone. And I love this Beetles rhinestone gel because it gives you time to place it. You can, place it all around. It dries completely clear. So if you need to move your stones around a little bit before you cure it, then that's okay too, because it dries clear, so it's not like you're going to see it or anything. And now I'm using these very small rhinestones that are black, and I'm just placing them as the eyes, Rudolph's eyes, and oh my gosh, so cute. And so then we cure that for 60 seconds. That's all it takes. And then we go in with some brown Axiom. This is called My Private Jet by OPI. And I love these colors. These are going to last me for lifetimes. I can tell you that because I've already had them forever and ever. And the pots are not even like, I haven't even dented them. So I go in with this brown gel. You can use any colors at all, but I like any brands at all, but I like this brown because it's got a little bit, you can't really see it in this, but it's got a little bit of a flick of glitter to it. And so I just added some cute little antlers. And then we are going to finish Rudolph off with a shiny top coat. And I went in shiny with this because of the glitter. If you wanted to do matte, you could matte top coat him at this point, and then just shiny top coat his scarf so that it is, super shiny and glittery. And if you hear things in the background, that is Dog saying hello, and he is playing with a ball under my chair. So he's so funny. Anyways, so then I go in with my liner and I get in between the rhinestones. I don't ever put a top coat over the rhinestones because that like dulls the shine of the gems or crystals. So you never ever want to put top coat over a crystal, but I hang it upside down for a second and then I cure it for 2 minutes, and Rudolph comes out super shiny. Okay, so now I'm going to use this Young Nails One Step white as the polish that goes straight down the center of the center nail. And now we are making on this number 2 nail, that's what I use for the middle nail always. We are making Santa's jacket, with the little black belt and the golden buckle. Oh my gosh, this screams Christmas. I love, love, love this idea. So I'm using this stark white because I just love it. It's as white as snow, and I think it just took one coat to do it. And then I went in with the Beetles red just to keep the consistency. And I did the sides in red. And the very first thing I did with the sides is I took my liner brush and I lined it so that I could get those lines perfect. And then I was gonna fill it in, and I was like, what am I doing? I had to stop myself, because you don't have to fill it in with a liner brush. You can fill it in with the brush that comes in um, the bottle, because once you've got it lined out exactly the way you want it, then you can take the bottle brush and fill in, the chunky spots. So yeah, that's what I did. And I ended up, this red is not as pigmented as like that Young Nails white is. So I ended up doing 2 coats of this red. And I basically just did the same thing. I used the brush and I cured in between coats. I cured for 2 minutes in between. And then I went and I did the same exact thing with the red also. So, are you enjoying these Christmas sets? Let me know. Let me know if you want me to continue. We are on the 12th day of Christmas, or of December, and so I'm trying really hard to do all Christmas for December. And but if you have something in mind that you want to see or you are preparing for, that isn't Christmas, let me know. I'd love to put it on my list of sets to do. So if you have anything in mind that you absolutely love on nails, or you want to see like my technique when it comes to a set that you've seen before, that you wanted me to recreate or something like that, then let me know and I will do a recreation with, my spin on it. Okay, so now I have cured the second coat of red. And I'm going in with a second coat of white, and you'll see as I'm going in with the second coat of white, I'm just going to go about halfway down with this white and fill it in, and then I'm going to do the bottom half. I'm going to start a little lower. Do you see? So I make kind of like a little square right in the center of that white stripe. And that's where the buckle is going to be, or the belt. So I figured, why bulk up that center piece when I know I'm going to have to go over it with black anyway? So I just define the lines, get them as straight as possible, and then I cure it for 2 minutes. And now I'm going to go in with this Model 1 black gel art, nail art gel. And you just need like a touch of black, just a little teeny dot. And I always put it kind of to the side on this little plate, just because, why waste a whole bunch, out of the bottle? This will make this gel last so much longer if you just put like a little dot to the side and use a separate little liner brush than trying to use that liner itself. It helps it from not having to dry out. But so now I've got the black belt on and I cure it for 60 seconds. This nail art gel cures very, very fast. Unless you put like a very, very thick amount, then I would say cure it for like a solid 2 minutes. But I put a fairly thin amount, and now I'm putting the golden buckle on. And oh my gosh, it's such a pretty, this is also a Model 1's gel. And the gold gel from this line is so beautiful. I had in mind that I was going to put gold glitter on, because I did not think that this gel would be as prominent as it is, but I was like, maybe I don't have to, but then I decided that I was going to anyway. So I loved it though. It totally could have done without the glitter, but I added glitter just for extra sparkle anyway. And I just used that same brush and I just touched glitter onto where all of the gold nail art liner was, and it just added a little extra sparkle. And since we're using like the red sparkle anyway, yeah, that gold sparkle just added to and really made, like, we cured it for 2 minutes because it had that glitter in with mixed in with it. And then we went in with a shiny top coat too. I always like to do shiny on top of glitter. So you, once again, you could do matte around the whole nail and just the shiny top coat on where the glitter is on that gold. But yeah, I ended up doing the whole nail anyway, just because I'm a shiny lover. Alrighty, so now we are going to do Santa. And Santa was a project, let me tell you. We went in first with one coat of, um, you know, the red color. We're staying consistent with our colors. We want to keep using the same colors throughout the set. Just a little on the top, a little on the bottom, and then we cured it for 2 minutes. And then we went back in and just to deepen that red color and make it just a little more rich, we added a second coat. We probably could have gotten away with not doing the second coat. We could have just done the one coat because there's so much art that goes into Santa, you know, that we could have just, it covers up a lot of this red, but I ended up just, you know me, I go a little above and beyond anyway. Okay, so this is the color of Santa's face, and it is just a very kind of light tan. This was the perfect color in my mind, but you could make Santa's face any color that you want. But I gotta tell you, this polish was kind of driving me crazy. It has very little pigment in it, which is what I wanted because I wanted his face to be very light, but it took me like 4 coats of this. And I think I even cut out one of the, oh, I cut out two of the process because I actually did like 4 coats. And then I cured each coat for 2 minutes in between, and I ended up getting like this perfect color. This is exactly what I wanted. So whatever it takes to get exactly the shade that you want, right? So yeah, I just kept on going till I got what I wanted. And then once it came out, I decided to start working on Santa's hat. And this is the fluffy rim that is white. And so I just take my large daughter and I just kind of put like little dots. I probably could have even gotten away with 3 rows of dots, but I stopped here at the 2 rows of dots. And the reason why I'm using my daughter is because I'm adding texture to, you know, like, even though it's going to end up being a very smooth nail, it's an optical illusion that it has texture. So it looks like it's fluffy, like a fluffy hat, right? And so that's why I'm using the daughter instead of just using my liner brush and, you know, creating just a line. So I add just a little more white, and now I'm going in with the same white, but I'm adding Santa's mustache. And yeah, this is very, this took me a long time. I would say all in all, when it, you know, because I speed these up so that you don't have to sit through, you know, like real time. But all in all, I think this nail alone took me about 12 minutes to do. So yeah, I definitely spent some time doing it. And I added his mustache first, and then I kind of did his beard squiggly, and I tapered those squiggles down, you know, to where it like almost comes to a point at the bottom, and then I start filling it in. And if you notice, I leave kind of a little triangle up at the top where his lips are going to be. And so I left that open. DOG sure is making a lot of noise. Um, but I'm also trying to texturize his beard because, I'm just like dotting it because I want it to look like it's fluffy. I don't want it to just be like straight. And so I cured it for 2 minutes. And then I went in to add even more texture. And I was like, you know what? Instead of doing little dots for another 10 minutes, I just used the brush all together. And then I started spreading it out, the brush from inside the bottle. So now I'm using the detailer brush and I'm just spreading it out, and it's still got a lot of that texture. I'm really happy with the way his beard came out, and I want to do the same exact thing to his mustache. So I end up going in and adding a second coat to his mustache as well. But I cured that for 2 minutes, and now I'm working on his mustache, which adds just a little more texture. And towards the end, of course, we're going to do a top coat, but you can definitely see the different levels of texture in Santa's beard because we did it in steps like this. So, and I even put like that little kind of chin thing that happens. I don't know, like right under the lower lip, and that just added something a little extra. So there was a lot of texture on his beard and his mustache, and so I wanted to add just a little extra depth to his hat as well. And yeah, so I ended up doing that too. If you are enjoying this video, I sure hope that you are. Please give me a like and remember to subscribe, and definitely comment and let me know what it is. Oh, look, I'm putting the dot that is on the top of, what is that? That kind of little bushy thing on the tippity top of his hat that always kind of hangs over. Yeah, the fluffy. So I put that on too. But yeah, if you want to see more content, you definitely want to subscribe. So take some time to do that. Ring the bell button so you get notified when I have more videos coming out. I'm trying to do about one a day, but yeah, I miss every once in a while. But lots and lots of content because I only do 5 nails at a time. Now I'm adding his eyes. I put the same eyes and the same nose as Rudolph because, I want them to match. And yeah, Santa has a jolly red nose, right? Because he's super jolly. And so, yeah, I added those same ones, and yeah, he ended up super cute. I'm not done with him though. I'm going to add a little red glitter for his mouth, and yeah, I ended up putting a little too much glitter on this, and so it took me a minute to I had to like move that glitter around a lot. He almost looked sad at one point, and I was like, no, no, no. We can't have a sad Santa. So instead, I took the time and made sure that he had a smile on his face. And yeah, that ended up being super cute, but it did take a minute for that to happen. Yeah, and then I had a couple pieces of glitter that just kept like getting in the way. I was like, oh, but yeah, the labor of love that we do, right? Okay, so this is where I nailed it. I pushed it down, and then I ended up putting it perfect, and he looked so happy. Happy and rosy red lips. Yeah. So now we're just adding his eyebrows on using that same white And yeah, I thought that was cute, but I thought that maybe he wanted or he would have bushier eyebrows. So I went in and kind of doubled the width of the eyebrows. And yeah, I was happy with that. But didn't Santa look super cute? Didn't he turn out cute? Oh yeah, and of course his sideburns. I had to pull his sideburns down to his beard, from his cap to his beard. And yeah, all these little details. And that's why I was saying it takes like, I don't know, the better part of 12 minutes to do this. So, but all of these details make it worth it, right? Didn't he just turn out super cute? Yeah, let me know in the comments if you like Santa or if Rudolph is your favorite in this set. Which nail is your favorite? Let me know. I want to know. But yeah, so we did his sideburns, and once I was happy, we cured it for 2 minutes, and then we went in with the Beetles top coat. And of course, we top coated him all except for the top of the rhinestones. You don't want to do the top of the rhinestones, but yeah, in between his nose and everything. So, or in between his eyes and his nose. So if you ever have like a super tight spot where you can't really get in, just use the tip of your nail art brush and before you cure, and it'll get in there. And then yeah, I am sorry, I don't know what is going on with Dioji, but he's been doing nothing but shaking his ears this whole time, and I'm so sorry. But yeah, he is feisty today. So, and then of course my husband's coming in and out of the house. It's one of those days, I'm telling you. I have all sorts of interruptions going on, but we are on the fifth and final nail. We're going to do, this is the thumb, and it is a number 1, and I took a touch of black. First we polished it with the red, and then we cured it. And then I went in with a touch of black and added it to that red, which darkened it. And I mean a touch. It was just a little teeny dot of black, and it deepened this red just enough where you could see the sweater effect. And so we're just doing, with the sweater effect, it's really super easy. It is 2 lines, and then you take that first line from the top and you just drag it in, kind of creating an S, and you connect it to the bottom one, and then once you've connected all of them, then you do a line down each side. And doesn't that look like a cable knit sweater? Oh my gosh, I love it so much. Yeah, sweater in the winter time. That's all we really need, right? To keep us warm and cozy, even if it's just on our nail, right? Sweater nails are super fun, and I love doing them. If I could have like one sweater nail in my entire set, in every set, I absolutely would do this, because I just think they're so cute in the winter time. But so yeah, so I do one line of cable down the center, and then I do another line on either side, and I separate those cables with a line. And I'm using the same color, just that darkened red all the way down. And then it just adds kind of like a little bit of a 3-dimension to it, which is cool, and noticeable for sure. And then, oh, now we're going to the third side. Yeah, for sure. So today is actually Tyler's 15th birthday. And we had an amazing day. I can't believe he's already 15. It just seems like yesterday that he was just a little teeny toddler, and we were teaching him how to walk. And here he is 15, and we spent the day at Gold's Gym. He's a worker outer, and yeah, so that was one of his surprise gifts, was to join his favorite gym that they just opened up in our town like 6 months ago, and he's been talking about it ever since it went up. And so, yeah, he was super happy to get that as one of his birthday presents. So, after you've added the sweater effect, you always, to add the like the 3D effect, you always want to pour acrylic, or in this case, I'm using slick pour, which is like dip powder. This is Young Nails' version of dip powder. It's just called, it's slick pour, and it's the way that Young Nails does. I think Young Nails does slick pour correctly, or dip powder correctly, but you just pour it over until the shiny comes off of the gel. And then you cure it. And once it's cured, you just brush off all the extras. And now, normally with a sweater nail, you wouldn't put a shiny top coat. A sweater nail is almost always finished off with a matte top coat. And so, yeah, but I decided to go in with shiny, and I just, consistency, right? I wanted, all the rest of the nails were shiny, so I added shiny to this one too. And I love that it's shiny. It just ends up looking so clean, and you can still see that sweater effect on the inside, which is so cool. This is how it ended up. The set turned out so cute and super adorable, and very, very Christmassy and blingy at the same time. I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoy making these videos for you. I had so much fun, and I hope that you did too. Please remember to like, comment, share if you know anybody else that loves nails, and subscribe. Hit that bell button, and thank you so much for watching. I will see you on the next video.